Hi guys and welcome to the channel. My name is Plami, and in this episode of the Nostalgia Trip, I'm gonna be actually starting my reactions to a TV series that I hold near and dear to my heart, that I've been a huge fan of ever since it first became a thing, that being the TV series Ghost Whisperer. The episodes that we're gonna be checking out in this video are going to be obviously episode 1, Pilot, and episode 2, The Crossing. But before we get into the reaction, there are a few things that I need to explain to you in regards to why I've actually sit down and decided to react to this show. Because for those of you who don't know, until this point, I've only been reacting to cartoons. And there is a very important reason why I've been doing it that way. But since I recognize that some of you, or most of you, are going to be new to the channel, if you don't really care about that explanation and you just want to get to the reaction, I'm going to be put chapters on this video, and I'm going to put the links to the specific parts of the video in the description. So if you only care about the reaction, or you at the very least maybe you want to hear about my relationship with this show, go to the specific chapters of this video that I've put down in the description below. Because for the next 5 minutes or so, I'm going to be explaining to you why I've decided to start doing reactions to this show. Because it's a pretty big change from what I've been doing until this point. Although I do want to also tell you that if you want to get a full-length version of these reactions, it's probably going to be available over on my Patreon and my Ko-fi account. I still can't say for sure because I obviously have not recorded it nor uploaded it, so I don't really know whether YouTube is going to be not play nice with the copyright on those full-length reactions. So we'll have to figure it out potentially, but it's hopefully going to be, I'll be able to figure out something, so there will be most likely a full-length reaction over on my Patreon or my Ko-fi account. But yeah, so I guess let's explain to you guys why I'm doing these reactions. Back when I started my YouTube channel in 2019, I was actually intending on doing reactions to not only cartoons, but movies, and especially TV series that, similarly to the cartoons that I reacted to until this point, were shows that I haven't watched in years, potentially decade, even, that I've wanted to rewatch and maybe watch through fully because I never saw them fully, for at least some of them. But back then, since I was a newbie at this YouTube thing, I didn't know really how to edit videos properly. I didn't know how much content I was allowed to actually keep in the reaction for it to not get claimed or blocked. So after facing some really harsh difficulty in the first days when I was trying to do reactions to the Charmed TV series and The Walking Dead Season 10, I kind of just decided to give up because it was too much of a pain in the ass, and no matter what I did, it didn't seem to work out. Little did I know that I was just stupidly trying to have too much content in the videos. But the point is that I wasn't able to do them back then, so I kind of gave up and decided that instead, eventually I'll start doing reviews to those shows. That's why I've been reviewing The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Doctor Who, a little bit of Charmed as well since then. But the thing is, it took me a while to even really decide to start doing the reviews. And you might ask, what changed? Why did I suddenly decide to start doing reactions to shows like this, which could be much more copyright strict? Well, recently I got monetized. I believe it was on, was it around 26th of March, I think it was? I got monetized, and I realized how much more successful and profitable my reactions videos truly are compared to everything else that I do on my channel. And you might say that you might think that then I've decided to do these reactions because I'm money hungry, which in a way, yes, but I'm gonna explain to you why it's not exactly that. But it's more so the fact that the reviews don't make anything, basically. They don't make me any money. And it just feels like a waste, especially at this point in my life and in time of my YouTube career. It just feels like a waste to waste this potential income that I could be making by doing reviews instead of doing reactions, which could actually bring me money. And we're not really even talking about any crazy amount or anything. I'm literally talking about the realms of like $2 or $3 per day. That's the realm of stuff that we're talking about. That's what the reactions essentially make me per day, like $2 or $3. Whereas the reviews don't make me literally anything. So it truly is like a waste. So I contemplated about what could I possibly do to actually make those videos profitable. I considered doing potentially commentary tracks instead of reactions, because the biggest issue for me with doing reactions to these, in addition to the copyright stuff, is that these episodes of like live action TV shows that are 40 minutes long or more are a much bigger commitment compared to the amount of actual content you get out of the reaction for the video. And especially compared to like the cartoon reactions. Because for a cartoon reaction, I sit down for like 20 minutes per episode and I get about like 6 minutes of the content of the episode into the video reaction. So on average, it takes me about an hour to record one nostalgia trip episode of a cartoon. With the live action TV shows like Ghost Whisperer, it will take me like more like 2 hours, and I'll still get pretty much the same amount of content. So that kind of felt again like a little bit too much work for the same reward essentially. But I've asked my subscribers, you guys, what you wanted, and you pretty much overwhelmingly supported that you wanted to see reactions and didn't really care about commentaries. So I was kind of, I guess, at that point forced to do this, but I'm still happy to do this, and I'll try to make it work. And the reason why I'm not necessarily as money hungry as it might seem is because I don't really care about becoming rich off of YouTube. That's not why I've ever started doing it. I've started doing it because I like sharing my opinions and stuff, and I just enjoy doing this. But at the same time, I want to support myself by doing this. I want this to be my job. And the only way it can become my job is if I actually make money off of it. So I only care about the money as far as making enough money to be able to support myself. So once I start making at least like $1,000 per month, I don't really care about anything else. Like, I'm not gonna care about the money. That's just how much I need to be able to support myself. So yeah, and I guess we should also go over the fact of having the full-length reactions for this show as well, because that's kind of something I forgot to talk about. That being that the full-length reactions are gonna be at a different tier for these live-action TV series, and for the movies, they are gonna be at a different tier compared to my cartoon reactions. The cartoon reactions right now, and for the foreseeable future, will stay at $5 per month. You get access to all of my full-length reactions for cartoons. But for these live-action shows, because it takes me more time to make them, and it's much more of an effort to actually edit them as well because they're longer, it just feels like it has to cost more, you know? It just feels like it's the right thing to do. And considering that this is twice the length of a typical cartoon episode, it makes sense for it to be double. So the price at which I've essentially offered you the access to the full-length reactions for these series, like the live-action series, is actually kind of like a discount, because it's a $9 per month price. And at that $9 per month, you get access to all my full-length reactions for live-action TV series, like this one, or my movies, and the cartoons. Because the tiers are stacked, as you may know. Both on Patreon and on Ko-fi, the tiers are stacked. So the bigger tier you buy or subscribe to, you get everything below it as well. So by subscribing at the $9 tier, you get access to everything below it, which includes the cartoon reactions. And I think $9 is actually pretty fair, considering you get the cartoon reactions, which already cost you $5, and essentially you get the live action TV shows and the movie reactions at a discounted price, you know. Hopefully you guys will be satisfied with that, but I guess we'll see. If nobody decides to join at that tier, I guess we're gonna find out that I have to put it at a lower price. But from what I know from other YouTubers, I feel like they put it higher than this. At least I know for Blind Wave, I think it's $10 per month, so I guess still a little bit cheaper. But yeah, I'm also just starting out. As long as I start making money off of YouTube, I potentially will fully remove the price tag for the full length reactions, or at least like make it much lower. But right now, since I don't really make enough money to support myself through YouTube, we still have to stick with this. And if you want to know how much money I make off of YouTube right now, it's literally just $35 per month. Which is more than I thought I was going to be making the second I got monetized, but it's still less than I would have liked. Because YouTube also has, or should I say AdSense also has like a minimal limit of money that you need to have to be able to pull them out, which is $70. So I wish I was making at least $70 so I could already have the money in my bank account, but I don't, so yep. Okay, I think that's pretty much all I had to cover in regards to this new thing that I'm going to be doing on my channel. And I guess also I should remind you that these reactions to the live action TV series or movies are going to be additional reactions to my already existing cartoon reactions. So usually I kind of tend to post at least 2 cartoon reactions per week. I'm probably going to solidify that as the typical thing. So you will be getting essentially 1 more nostalgia trip reaction per week, making it 3. Whether it's gonna be a live action TV show episode reaction or a movie reaction, it's gonna change from week to week, but we'll see. Maybe sometimes I could make it 4 as well. But I'm still figuring it out. It's still the early days, so we'll see where we're gonna go with that. But yeah, let's go back to the show, specifically Ghost Whisperer. I love this show. I've seen, I think, pretty much all of it, all 5 seasons. And I even remember a lot of it, but I legitimately haven't rewatched this show in at least 7 to 8 years. So I still might not necessarily remember the details of the show, but I still think it's going to be very fun to be watching through the show. If for nothing else, because I'll still get to review it, which was kind of what I was intending to do in the first place before, but yeah, this show is very near and dear to my heart because it was one of the first shows that I was actually like into and like watched weekly whenever it was on TV. It was it's pretty much up there for me with like Charmed, with those 2 being like 2 of the earliest TV shows that I've ever followed and watched and enjoyed. And it's and another reason why it's so close to my heart is because my mom introduced me to it. She was into this show. She liked it. She enjoyed watching it. And I started watching it because of her. I think it was during the airing of season 1. I'm not sure exactly whether it was during the airing of season 1, but I remember it was with season 1. I think it was close to the finale of season 1 that I watched or something. But yeah, it's a show that I'm very familiar with and that I remember even most of the plot lines. But I still think there's going to be cool stuff to react to, and definitely I will have some things to say in regards to this show. And for those of you who are also curious, because I'm sure some people might ask, me starting to do reactions to TV shows like this one with the intent to kind of review them also opens the possibility of me reacting to shows that I've said before that I'm not gonna react to because I've seen them and I remember them. Like for example, Avatar: The Last Airbender or Legend of Korra. Those 2 shows are now possible for me to react to because I was planning on reviewing them at some point in the future, but now that we're doing reactions to shows that I am very familiar with, like this one, there's just no excuse to not react to those as well. But again, it's probably gonna be a while before I sit down and react to those, because there's other shows which I am less familiar with that I want to go through before we get to those. So yeah, I don't know if I would honestly ever get to react to that, because you never know what's gonna happen in the next years. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So without further ado, let's start off the reaction with episode 1 pilot in 3, 2, 1. I think the reason why I instantly fell in love with the show when I watched it as a kid is because of how morbid it kinda is. Dealing with death and stuff.
You and your grandmother are the only ones here who can see me. Will you help me? That's my wife. We've been together for 26 years. And then I had to go. I had to go so quickly I didn't have time to say goodbye to her. Didn't have time to tell her how much I love her. And she really needs to hear it now. Will you give her that message for me?
How does she know it's from you?
Tell her I want her to keep on having a glass of champagne every Friday night. I want her to light the fire like we always did. And make our secret toast to the moon and stars.
I wonder if I'll ever get to cry to this show. Considering I've seen it, I'm really curious.
I don't understand.
I know, honey, but you will.
Hey, don't tell me I scared you.
Very funny. I just didn't know if you were gonna make it.
You kidding? Finally get to see my only brother settle down? The thing about Jim is that he can take away your fear. He makes more of a difference than he knows.
He would so love to hear
I guess that's
that.
why Melinda is actually able to fucking live through all the goddamn horror experience that she does throughout this goddamn series. And all the horror-like sequences that she gets to witness. Because if I saw that shit, I would piss my pants. I'm curious whether I would actually get scared by some of them as I'm doing reactions to this show. Man, this intro was always so fucking creepy. And it instantly brought me back to my childhood memories, man. I never understood what was with that fucking kid there. Pretty cool intro though. Very memorable. So early 2000s though.
So, what does Jim have planned?
I don't know. He's obsessed with making up for no honeymoon.
As well, he should be.
Oh, well, let's see. 2 weeks in Bermuda or Andrea's salary.
Honeymoons are totally overrated.
What's this?
I don't know, I thought you brought it in.
Well, I've seen it before. Or something like it.
Man, I actually remember that.
All right. Step 1, remove blindfold.
Thank you.
Step 2, close one eye so you only see the part of it that's almost finished.
Damn. Wrong eye. I love it. Oh, I love it. You must have worked like a month of nights.
Don't be too impressed. The inside still looks like Legoland.
I don't care.
Man, Jim's actor is also really handsome.
Our home.
Thought you were gonna try and get this erased.
Yeah, well, when you find the remote that turns that off, you let me know.
I'm just worried about you, that's all.
You're looking out for me, huh?
Oh, I'm looking out for you.
I also want to say
It's hard
that
to
Jim's
understand.
Jim's actor's voice in this original
Just thinking back about
version
pain.
is so much weaker than it is in the dub for my country.
Look who's talking. Mr.
So it's kind of weird getting accustomed to his voice like this. Also, why do the ghosts always play fucking mind games like this? Why does she have to figure out their fucking story? She's like fucking investigator. I mean, that's why this show is kind of like a procedural show, like CSI Miami or whatever. Also, that is creepy as fuck. If I saw that, I'd be... Oh my god.
Well, there's an older woman sitting next to that guy with the laptop. Probably his mother.
What do they look like?
Well, if they're having trouble coming through, they can look pretty scary, but once they realize where they are, they start to look like you and me. Go talk to her. And the espresso guy?
Oh, so that's, I guess, explains why they're always so scary, because they don't realize that they're dead. Hi, Wentworth Miller. This actually is the first time I saw this actor.
I don't know where I am. I need you to help me.
Yeah, I get that.
They told me you could.
Who told you?
Who told you?
I don't know.
You're not supposed to be in my home. It's not how this works.
Please. I have to
Yeah, Melinda, I hate to break it to you, but it's gonna become a pretty common occurrence.
know where I am.
Insurance things.
How can I tell him something like that? I mean, what's he gonna think?
Excuse me. I am the one who's been hanging around here for who knows how long trying to find some way to let him know. So who has the bigger problem? You or me?
You know what I have a really bad habit of doing? Sometimes I leave really important
That's a hell of a way to
things
explain it, Melinda.
in my coat.
Not that I would do any better, but still.
I forget about them.
What the hell are you talking
about? Will you just tell him? Okay, I know how this is gonna sound, but I have a message from your wife. She wants you to know that the safe deposit box key is in her blue raincoat. Do you know what unit he was in?
Yeah, 5th Infantry. Red diamonds. Yeah, brown star and a purple heart. He was an expert marksman. He was funny and reliable. At least that's what my mom said. He had
Daddy
very
issues,
neat
huh?
handwriting.
And you said you couldn't tell me much.
My mom used to tell me stories about him every night. She wanted me to know him. She wanted me to know he was a hero.
Okay, so that is definitely him then. It's just kind of weird to have Wentworth Miller
Please tell me if you find out anything about my dad.
plays a veteran from the Vietnam War. It's just kind of weird. Especially because he's like especially young in this, I feel
Thanks
like.
for talking to me and
Because like this is like 2005 or 6. Oh shit. He's gonna have a grandson. That's probably what woke him up. Is that even a thing in the show?
But the thing is, his wife is like 9 months pregnant. It made me realize something. Paul told me that his wife was pregnant, and what he doesn't realize is that it's his son's wife that's about to have a baby, not his wife. I mean, it really explains a lot.
Right. Although not to me.
But whenever there's a big change in a family, like a child about to be born, it sends a ripple effect through the spirit world. It wakes up the spirit of someone close. That is why Paul is here.
Yep.
Just doesn't really understand why yet.
I remember being in a helicopter. I see tracers coming at us from the treetops. I could feel the chopper slipping and sliding. I could hear the ping of bullets off the hull. And I knew we were hit. And we were going down. I remember seeing a waterfall as we went down. I remember thinking how beautiful it was, and I was glad that the last thing I was going to see was so pretty. And then I remember crying. Because I was never going to see my baby.
Michael.
That was my father's name. That's what I wanted. I just can't believe
You know, personally, I really think it's kind of lame to name your child after a relative. And I'm saying that after being named after my grandfather.
Just getting started.
But it is just kind of lame. And it's also really funny whenever we have like family gatherings or something, because in our family now there is like 3 people with the same name. Me, my grandfather, and my aunt's boyfriend.
But I can only see spirit.
You should also know that in his last moments, he was thinking of you.
He was heartbroken that he would never see his child. What? How could you know that? Your father came to me for help.
I don't understand what you're trying to say. Just tell me.
Look, the thing is, I have a gift. Your father is dead, but his spirit is still here. Yeah, he just hasn't crossed over yet, and he wants you to know where he is and what happened. I'm so sorry, I'm really not explaining this very well.
Ever seem weird to you that we're both kind of in the death business?
What?
You know, I used to think, in a funny kind of way, that I could keep them from you. You know, lighten your load.
Oh, I get it. That's pretty nice.
Hey. What happened?
I almost lost another one today. A 55-year-old guy just collapsed in the street. You know, he was blue before we even reached him. I worked on this guy 20 minutes, and the only thing I could think that whole time was, I am not gonna let him get to you, I swear. I felt like I was gonna die myself if this guy died.
Did he?
No, I mean, I brought him back.
That's great.
Honey, I cannot stand both of us being this way. You know, both of us dealing with who stays, who goes. I gotta do something different. You know, someday I'm gonna make a mistake, and the next guy, he's not gonna come back.
And that's not gonna be on you.
Or at least he's not gonna come back to me.
I don't think a single one ever comes to her after you lose them, though, so I think we're gonna be
What are you
fine.
thinking?
I'm thinking about your brother. What he said to me.
To you? He died before we even met, you know, it was the summer after.
Oh!
He was at our wedding.
I kind of forgot about that. I thought he died maybe at some point. I remember him being dead, but I didn't realize he was dead in the beginning.
He's been with you all along. Had to see you settle down. Had to see you happy.
That's why she got scared.
What did he say?
He talked about falling off the roof and how you held him. How you talked to him.
I couldn't save him. I was too late.
Hey, no one could have saved him. It was just his time, that's all. But he wanted me to tell you something, and he wanted me to wait until you were really ready to throw in the towel. He said the thing about Jim is, he knows how to take all your fear away. People feel it. He makes more of a difference than he knows. He wouldn't want you to give up. Look, if there is one thing that I know, it's that what happens to these people in their last moments, it really matters. And you do great work, no matter what.
Aww.
We're in the life business. Death is just a part of it.
Man, I love them together so fucking much. They're so perfect for each other. The definition of soulmates. And also that line was really fucking good. We're in the life business. Death is just a part of it.
My wife made me call the Pentagon. Give them the information that you gave me. They narrowed it down to this place they believe my father was assigned to. In a chopper in June of '72. They're working with the Vietnamese government to send a search team to see if they can find anything. Where did you get this information?
She told you.
How did you get this?
I told you the truth. He said you grew up really well. And he's proud of you.
Did he hurt? Was he in pain?
He doesn't really remember any of it. He just remembers thinking of you and your mother, and he misses her.
Tell him.
He can hear you. He's right next to me.
She never forgot about you. She told me stories about you every night.
Aww.
Mostly happy ones, sometimes sad ones.
Man, this show really does the wholesome or bittersweet really well.
Just made me
Because, like, it's the first episode, it's not gonna be the best story or anything, but I'm, like, feeling sad, you know? Maybe it's the fact that it's Wentworth Miller, an actor that I like a lot.
I see his wife. And I'll see my grandchild.
But also, he sounds so different from the character that he plays on The Flash, or should I say, the Arrowverse.
He says he was lost, but now he can. And he'll always be close by. He will always be watching.
We'll find you. If I have to go there myself and find you, I will. I'll bring you back, I will.
Tell him he has to go home to his wife. She needs him. It's all that matters now. When that baby comes into his life, man, don't miss a second of it. Not 1 second. Nothing waits for you.
He wants to walk with you.
Thank you.
Aww. That thank you really hit me for whatever reason. It was so sincere.
Dad? You there?
It's really funny how only sometimes can they actually feel that shit. It's cool though.
You're the only one that can see it.
I do see it.
You know, I can't wait to see the season 1 finale because of that line about the light. Oh boy.
What do you see?
My wife. She's standing right there. She's telling me to come. She looks as beautiful as the day I left.
Can you see us?
Oh, that's just a family of ghosts. What? What was that about? Is that what's gonna be happening in the next episode, I guess? Interesting. Okay though, so that was the first episode of the show. Can't say that it's like really super exciting or anything. It's, to be honest, a perfectly standard episode of this show, and that is kinda it about this episode. It's about establishing everything that this show ends up being, and you pretty much see the formula of an episode, of the episodes of this show. You get a ghost to scare Melinda a couple of times and slowly piece up where the ghost came from, what happened, blah blah blah. They fix it. The people who the ghost wants to talk to don't believe Melinda, but then by the end of the episode they go back on it and accept her, but and start believing her, talk to the ghost, and he gets sent. So yeah, it's pretty par for the course kind of episode, but the appearance of Wentworth Miller definitely improves the episode for me a little bit, because I do like him as an actor. He's very entertaining, although not necessarily in this show, because I feel like he's acting nothing like what he acts on the Arrowverse. And to be honest, to expect him to act like that, especially in 2005, before that was even a thing, is stupid. But I've also seen him in, I think it was Prison Break, and he kind of acted like what he acted in the Arrowverse in that, so I don't know, maybe this was the early days of his career. I don't know how old he was supposed to be in this episode, but it was still fine seeing him. He definitely made the episode more memorable for me, but overall, it's just okay, like nothing crazy. I feel like the show definitely has much crazier or much more interesting episodes down the line. The most notable moments about this, I guess, are the beginning of the episode where we see young Melinda. The horror sequence was kind of cool. The ghost climbing the stairs was kind of freaky. The dream with everything upside down was also really cool. But I guess the standout moment of this episode is probably the talk between Melinda and Jim, and the line that Melinda says about the fact that they are in the living business. Death is just a part of it. That was definitely by far the best moment of the episode for me. And yeah, for the first episode, it's fine. Like, I didn't really expect like anything more than this. It was decently enjoyable. It's gonna be a little bit before we get into some actual entertaining stuff, but one thing's for sure that I can say about reacting to TV shows like this compared to cartoons. It definitely feels more satisfying. Because like with cartoons, a lot of the time I feel like I didn't get my feel in a way. Like I didn't get satisfied. I didn't get as high as I wish I did after watching the episode. But I don't really have that with this show. I definitely feel perfectly satisfied even with like a overall mediocre episode like this. Because this is not a bad episode by any means, but it's just that there's nothing spectacular. I've seen this show and this is par for the course, even less than par for the course. But it definitely still satisfies me, although not as much as Charmed. Because like I said, I've been actually watching Charmed on and off since 2019, and I've decided to stop and then at some point react to it from the beginning again. And when I was watching that show, a lot of the time, as I was watching the episodes, at first it would feel like such a tedious task to watch the episodes and watch the show. But then by the end of the episode, I'm actually really satisfied with it. In comparison with this show, in the beginning, I do not feel like there's no heaviness like that. There's no annoyances that I can't be bothered to actually get into the story. No, it feels perfectly satisfying the way we're thrust into the story, and the way the ghosts show up kind of makes sense, you know? And yeah, it's pretty satisfying. I can't wait to see what the next episode is going to have for us. So, in terms of a rating for this first episode, I am actually going to give it kind of a lower rating, because like I said, I'm familiar with this show, so I feel like I'm a pretty good judge in where this episode would stand in comparison to other episodes of the show. So, I think I'm going to give it a 7.4 out of 10. It's good, but there's many better episodes, I feel like, of this show. Although, like I said, it's not worthy because of the inclusion of Wentworth Miller. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else I have to say in regards to this episode. There is certain things that I want to talk about, but I kind of also want to keep it for when we actually will talk about it, which I'm pretty sure is going to happen at some point in Season 1, because I remember the villain of Season 1 bringing that up, but I guess I'll tell you a little bit about it. Sometimes whenever I see the ghost crossing into the light or talking about the light, I don't know why, but I really feel like it could be a lie, and on the other side it could be hell. I don't know why. I think it's because of the villain of Season 1 putting that into my head, that thought. But ever since I watched the show originally back then, I've always had that thought. And it always feels so disingenuous whenever the ghosts explain who they're seeing in the light. It feels like they're lying to them and they're just trying to manipulate them to come into the light. You know? And I'm going to talk about it more because I'm pretty sure the villain brings that shit up. But yeah, it's a thought that popped into my head as I was watching the episode towards the end. And it's kind of crazy to actually voice this thing out loud, because I've had this thought for like 15 years. I'm gonna be 22 this year, and I've watched this show at least since 2006 or 7, I don't know. And it's crazy to actually be able to share this thought, because I've never been able to with anybody, you know? But yeah, I also like how they managed to make the title of this episode work for both things, because it's the pilot of the show, but it was also about a pilot, or at least somebody in a helicopter. I feel like it works good enough, you know. I'm not sure whether they said that he was a surgeon, not a pilot, but it still works. I'll still count it as working. But yeah, I think that's it for the first episode, so without further ado, let's get into episode 2, The Crossing, in 3, 2, 1.
My name is Melinda Gordon. I just got married, just moved to a small town. just opened up.
Oh
a
yeah,
YouTube
they
shop.
do this kind of recap. I forgot about that.
Except from the time that I was a little girl, I knew that I could talk to the dead.
Honestly, that feels so cheap now. It feels like one of those like TLC documentaries or whatever.
They come to me for help. To tell you my story, I have to tell you theirs.
And yet, I don't think this show ever really gets like a proper ending. I mean, sure, it doesn't end on a cliffhanger, but it doesn't end on an ending either.
I'm excited.
How did you get all the way out here?
We walked.
Is he a ghost? But he was putting pennies on the tracks.
Whoa! How'd you do that?
That was not funny. Dylan, go get in the car and I'll take you back to your mom.
But the coin.
Go.
Just get the coin.
What are you doing here, Kenny?
Waiting for my mommy. She said when I get lost, I should stay. with
Also,
my
that kid
mom
looks
until
so much like a future kid on this show that I don't want to spoil if anybody who hasn't seen the show is watching it with me. It's kind of scary how similar he looks.
Why is he still here?
Ghosts have no real sense of time. Just waiting for his mother to come and find him.
Can you help him?
Disappeared on me.
Wait, didn't you say that kid Dylan was playing with? Well, how could he see him?
Kids can almost always see spirits. Where do you think imaginary friends come from?
I really like that concept in the show. I wish the show played into it in a way where it could allow you to continue to see, like that could be a way to actually see ghosts in the future. But no, it's just an ability that kids have. That always bothered me about this show.
This kid could wait for all eternity if I don't help.
Eternity's a long time. I'm just asking for an extra couple days till my mom leaves.
This is gonna be an easy one. I know where the child is, I know where the mother is. In and out, nobody gets hurt.
Famous last.
Kenny, I told you to stay.
I like the bookstore. Mommy said next year I could read chapter books.
Do you know what
Can't you just
happened when your mommy was
hold your phone and act as if you're talking on the phone? Because I'm getting secondhand embarrassment.
Remember the train?
Kind of yes. Kind of no.
You don't really understand, do you?
Understand what?
Yeah, how do you make a kid like him understand? That is kind of interesting. To be dealing in the second episode as well. Man, this show is so superficially American.
Let's have a look.
I now realize that my expectations of America were shaped very much by this show.
Wonderful food.
Melinda doesn't cook that much. Which is fine. I mean, you know, it always was my skill.
Okay?
The blind lady?
Yeah.
She's weird.
Just promise me, okay?
Okay, I guess.
You know, I'm kind of flipping between whether I think the kid is a bad actor or whether he's kind of charming. I'm still not
I
sure.
have to run off and do an errand, but the two of you just go ahead without me.
Well, what do you have to do?
It's hard to explain.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
The thing is, I really want to spend time with you, Mrs.
Oh, that was a good reaction there.
Mother Faith. It's just, I have to go.
That was a good one.
Well, you know,
BT.
she's on the go.
Yeah, indeed.
I know that this is going to sound strange, but I can...
Just spill it out.
I'm asking you to consider the possibility that when people die, they don't always leave. Well, we can't see them, but their spirit stays back.
Melinda, you're not really good at explaining this shit.
Please. What are you trying to say?
I'm not listening to this crap, and neither should you.
I saw your boy. I talked to your boy. Is it that hard to fucking explain? I can see ghosts. Believe me, don't believe me. I'm the only thing that can help you accept it and move on.
I'm sorry about him.
Is it that hard? And I'm not even good at social interactions and I can do better. You know, it's really annoying how in the early 2000s, and even till this day, a lot of shows on television have to still follow the procedural bullshit, even if they're more like supernatural like this one.
Let's fix it.
Okay. Yeah?
Who's that?
This is my husband. Jim, say hello to Kitty on the couch.
Hi, Kenny.
Hi.
What's going on?
Well, I think it's the electromagnetic field messing with the TV.
You just had me talk to a ghost.
How'd it feel?
Strange.
Is everything all right?
It's not gonna be the strangest thing you're gonna go through, Jim.
That was
I can tell you that for sure.
electrical surge. You know these old houses.
I think the TV may still be on.
Ruggles likes it.
The cat? How odd.
Keeps him company.
Odd little tabby.
Miraculously walked out of the hospital way inside.
That's one talented cat.
Not comfortable with his motion.
It's a disaster. I was up and down like a yo-yo. Sure,
Oh, that was good.
No, don't
Okay,
swear.
2 reactions from Jim this episode.
What's not to like?
I hope that becomes a pattern with this show, man.
Kenny. Now, I'm sure you make a pretty good living from your little scam.
Hey, I don't make any money.
It's true, sir, she doesn't. I'm not buying
What the-
what you're selling.
What the
And
fuck are
neither is
you
my
talking
wife.
about?
Mr. Dale.
I am sick of people getting away with their lies. But you know what? Every once in a while, somebody pays for it. So you better think twice before you pull your crap on me, little girl. Understand?
No, fuck you. You know, I really hate how arbitrary ghost rules for what they can touch and what they can move and what they can sit on is in this show. Because literally this kid is just sitting on that box. But I'm pretty sure that ghosts in this show are also able to walk through
I
shit.
was hoping your mom could talk to you about this.
About what?
Do you know what it means to die?
My turtle died. I woke up and he wasn't there anymore. I was looking for him and my dad had told me he died. He threw him away. I never got to say goodbye. Is that what's going to happen with me?
No.
No, you'll get to say bye.
Honey, it isn't.
Not exactly, at least.
I hardly remember that turtle.
Everyone will remember you, Kenny. I promise. No one who knows you, who loves you, will ever forget you. You can't be with them anymore, not the way you used to be, but there's a part of you, and your mom and dad and sister, just like there's a part of them in you. Nothing will ever change that.
So I won't get to see them again? Mommy and Daddy and my sister?
You'll get a chance to say goodbye. They'll know that you love them.
But I don't want to say goodbye.
It's only gonna be for a time, though.
No, you won't be. I promise you that. I can help you go where you need to go. And there'll be people there, people who will know you, people who will take care of you.
And they'll remember Mommy and Daddy.
For the rest of their lives.
Man, I can't believe the show is doing that on the second episode. Dealing with the kid's death. Man, the baby should be able to see Kenny, shouldn't it?
Kenny?
Mad Mom.
Aww. No, I always love the fact that the humans can actually feel the ghosts. It's a nice thing to allow, like, the people to be affected emotionally, at least.
I'm here. I'm home. Daddy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave you. Don't cry, Daddy.
Aww. What are you trying to do, bro?
I was in the car with the children. We were driving home from a fair a few towns over. Kenny, he kept asking for this little toy that he'd gotten at the fair. I was on the phone with Hank. Hank was furious. He'd been promised the car was in perfect condition. The car had already stalled twice, and I was afraid it was going to happen again.
And they stalled on the tracks? Holy shit. This is some Final Destination shit.
Kenny, I want you to run across the street as fast as you can. Run, Kenny, go! I turned to find Kenny, and
He went for the spider!
car to get the spider. I'm so sorry. I was preoccupied.
Well, to be honest, it's your own fault for not giving him the goddamn spider.
He was told the car was in perfect condition. Who told him that? The man that sold it to us?
Daddy, no!
Hey! Mr. Dale, don't! Mr. Dale, Kenny's here. He's watching you and he doesn't want you to do this.
Shut up with your crap! I'm warning you.
Kenny wants you to remember what you used to tell him when he was mad.
Take my mad feelings.
That you should take all of his mad feelings and roll them into a big ball. And then take that big ball and
Kick it hard. Kick it to the moon.
and kick it as hard as you can
Man,
until he hits the moon.
That kid's acting really is ruining my enjoyment of this
All
episode.
your mad feelings and you'll feel
It's just
better.
every time he talks takes me out of the episode. Outside of that, it's pretty fine.
Tell Mommy I love her.
Kenny wants you to know that he loves you. And he doesn't blame you for anything.
Man, even shit that I'm not invested in regards to this show still makes me feel emotional. Like just hearing the ghost say, tell the person I love this. I don't know why, but it's really kind of emotional, man.
I love you so much.
And I'm sorry if I'm not reacting too much, but these early episodes, there's not much to talk about, you know? And it's the first time I'm doing like an extended reaction to like a long episode, so I'm gonna be a little rusty in that regard.
Stubby? Yes, Stubby the turtle. We'll be there too.
I see something really cool.
Is it a light?
Uh-huh.
He's ready now. It's okay to go into that light, Kenny.
Aww.
I love you, Mommy.
He's gone, isn't he? Yes. He's gone.
Gee, it's a baby dress.
And you two thought you could keep a secret. I
Oh shit.
knew from the start. The whirlwind wedding, the hurry to get
These
settled,
reactions
the
by Jim are gonna
mystery
fucking
kids
kill me, I
on
swear to God.
Darling, I know what it's like when you're pregnant and nature calls. I remember.
Mom.
Mrs. Clancy, Faith, I hate to tell you this, but I'm not pregnant.
You're not.
No. It's something
What
that
was with
seems
that
so
dead
minor
face? What
a
the
bit,
fuck?
And you love him very much.
That smile though. God damn it.
I really do.
I just wish you had told me.
Both of the actors for like Melinda and Jim are so good. Like their love really fucking comes off as real.
Dan and my husband. You just have to go on. There are other people depending on you. You just have to keep doing the things that have to be done. You can come off as brusque or judgmental or just as a big pain in the ass. But at night, just when I think I'm going to cry, I feel Dan with me. I feel Jim's father is with me. I really believe that.
What, she sees him right beside her? I think that might be actually it.
If I didn't believe that, do you understand?
I do.
You may want to share that with your friend.
Okay, so that was episode 2 of Ghost Whisperer. Definitely not as enjoyable as the first one, if I gotta be honest. I like that it dealt with such a hard-hitting concept as a child death and child ghost, but at the same time, the child actor just wasn't that good. And for whatever reason, the child actor looks so fucking familiar. I swear to God, if that actor doesn't show up again in this show as a different character, I would be really, really surprised. Because he looks so familiar. I don't know if he looks so much as like a certain kid character that we get in the future, but god damn it, he looks so familiar. But yeah, he wasn't that good, and I feel like it's kind of weird. Like, he was good enough at times, but at all the times it really took me out of the story for whatever reason. I don't know, it just wasn't as entertaining episode as the last one. And it just shows how much the first episode was really carried by the ghost that was played by Wentworth Miller, was his name? I keep forgetting, it's such a kind of weird name. The episode for me was definitely carried by far by Jim and his goddamn reactions in this episode. It was so funny, like, Jesus Christ. And every single one was better than the last one. Every single one of his reactions. And his mom's reaction as well. Jesus fucking Christ. What's with that family and their goddamn reactions, dude? It was so flippin' funny. But yeah, just wasn't really as interesting episode as the last one, and we didn't really have the scare sequence in this episode. I guess that's not gonna be a thing that we get in every episode, but it definitely added to the first episode quite a lot. But yeah, I don't know. It was pretty brutal to see how the kid died though, being hit by a train. I wonder if this might be a reason why that was like a fear of mine as a kid. It wasn't like an overwhelming fear or like a fear that I had that was stronger than anything else, but I just for whatever reason get this vibe that I swear I remember feeling when I was a kid. So I wonder if this episode and this death of the kid kind of maybe, I don't know, traumatized me a little bit when I was a kid. It definitely wasn't a major traumatization because I didn't really remember it or anything. It didn't become a big fear of mine like how whales have become a big fear of mine, even till this day, because I watched The Ring when I was only like 8 years old. It genuinely fucked my life. But that is a topic for another video, to be honest. But yeah, don't really have much to say about this episode. It was fine, but the kid was a little too annoying. And I just didn't like that. And not even him, the other kid, Dylan, was even more annoying, so yeah. I guess let's go back to talk a little bit about the powers for kids to be able to see ghosts. Because I don't know if I actually kept it in the reaction or not, the times where I talked about it in this video. I like that concept. I obviously liked it even when I was a child, when I watched the show originally, because I was a child and I wanted to be able to see ghosts because that's how children's minds work. But the thing that bothered me about it is that you stop seeing ghosts as you grow up in that universe. And it really kind of bothers me because, I mean, I don't know, I just don't like that. I wish that there was a way for a kid to continue to be able to see ghosts. Like, I don't think we ever really learn what makes Melinda so special that she's able to see ghosts. We know that it's something, I guess, fucking genetic because everybody in her family tree, on her mother's side, I guess, or should I say even grandmother's side, can see ghosts, but we don't really learn how it happens. And that's why I feel like other kid characters should have been able to also see ghosts. I guess you have to keep your protagonist special in some way, because the show revolves around her being able to talk to ghosts, and if there's all these people running around being able to talk to ghosts, it would be boring, and it wouldn't work. But I don't know, it just still bothers me, because there's a certain character that shows up in the show that I don't want to spoil for people who are watching the show with me right now, who haven't seen it before. But that character grows out of being able to see ghosts, and that always bugged me. Because I don't feel like it's fair. It's not fair. You should be able to continue to see ghosts if you want to. Because to me it doesn't make any sense why it should be just something that you grow out of it. Like, because the logic should be like, oh, you grow out of it because you get taught by your parents about that these things are not real and you shouldn't believe in them. It's like how you stop believing in Santa Claus as you grow up, because that's how you get taught by grown-ups. But then if you know that ghosts are real and you are actually able to see ghosts and realize that they are ghosts, I don't see a reason why you should stop being able to see. It just doesn't make sense to me. With Melinda around all these kids, if she tells them that these ghosts are real, that these are ghosts, they should be able to stick with seeing them. But yeah, I don't know. It just always bothered me like that. So yeah. We gave last episode a 7.4 out of 10. And since this one was kind of annoying because of the kid character, I don't know, I definitely want to give it a lower rating. Something like a 6.3 out of 10. Which is kind of annoying that we're starting off with such weak episodes. But to be honest, the first season of the show was never like my favorite necessarily. I loved the finale, and maybe kind of the villain is kind of interesting. At least it's different from the villains that we get in future seasons. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see, I guess, how I'm gonna feel about it in the long run. But right now, good first episode, a little annoying second episode, but it was still fine. Like, I still enjoyed it. It was still a decent episode. And you also gotta keep in mind, whenever I'm reacting to shows like this, I have different standards compared to if I'm watching them for myself, which was kind of one of the reasons why I was a little reluctant and unsure whether I wanted to do reactions to shows or stick with reviews, because I find episodes much more enjoyable if I'm watching them for myself. I really seem to be much more strict when it comes to watching them for a reaction for whatever reason. So you gotta keep that in mind, because if I watch them for myself, these episodes were probably gonna be equally entertaining, but because the second one was a little annoying, and I didn't really have much to react to when it came to that episode, it was the worst episode because of that. But still, it's just the beginning of the show. We're gonna definitely get many good episodes going forward. So yeah, what did you guys think about these first two episodes? Comment those down below and let's have a discussion about it. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently one patron on Patreon, Deadpool. Thank you for your support, I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me that you have decided to support me, have continued to support me for such a long time. I hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. And now, before we end this video, I just want to talk about something to you guys very quickly, which some of you may or may have not noticed before or know about me, that being the fact that I am trans. And yes, this may come as shocking to some of you because I don't really flaunt it that much on my channel, or at least I feel like I don't. Outside of like my K-pop reactions, which is where I feel like the most comfortable being myself like this. And yeah, I am in fact trans. I'm not necessarily full-on male to female, but I heavily want to transition to being pretty female. I do consider myself more non-binary though, or maybe gender fluid would be the best descriptor as well, because I do have occasional moments where I feel fine being like just a normal guy, but most of the time, like right now, I do feel very dysphoric. And that's why I'm asking you guys for any help that you can give me, because my situation right now, I I don't really see any way outside of you guys' help. Because, and this is gonna be kept short and concise, I live with my parents. They're never going to accept me as a trans person. They just never will. And as a matter of fact, back when I started the YouTube channel, I was actually kind of slightly starting my transition back then, with like starting to grow out my hair. I even got to DIY HRT, but because my parents started noticing certain things, like my behavior had changed a lot and my clothes had changed a lot, I kind of had to stop doing that, because they were constantly nagging me about cutting my hair and just started to kind of be threatening in a certain way, and felt like they were ashamed of me and everything. And that just kind of stress just tired me out to the point where I just gave up. But as dysphoria goes, it just doesn't go away, you know. I still feel like this, and in fact it's somewhat been intensifying again recently, so I just wanted to share this with you guys. And again, I would really appreciate any amount of support you can give me in regards to this, because I just don't see any way out of this. Because even if I moved out of my parents' house and got myself a job and everything, that's just not gonna work for long-term planning, because once I transition, it's like I probably will not be able to get myself a job, because my country is very transphobic. Nobody gives a shit about LGBT people at all. So there's not even much I can do even in terms of transitioning here. So yeah, I don't know. I just would appreciate any amount of support you can give me, be it monetarily or in any way otherwise. And this is not about boosting my channel or anything, or guilt tripping you with my sob story. I just wanted to get this off my chest and make my subscribers aware of the situation that I am in, and that I would appreciate anything that you guys can help me out with. It would mean literally everything. Like, for example, a friend that I made after starting this YouTube channel, my good friend Yuri, has been helping me out a lot. And I genuinely might have not been here if it wasn't for him showing up and befriending me. So yeah, this just went a little bit longer than I intended, but I would just really appreciate anything you can support me with. That's kind of ultimately what I'm trying to say. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description to my Twitter if you don't follow me over there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you don't enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi account, where you can pledge your support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think this is pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!